Okay, optimization grade 12. This question is going to focus on minimum cost. We're still on calculus grade 12, November 2021 exam questions. Okay, the question is from paper 1. This is question 11 from DBE. Okay, so this is the question 11 from DBE. Okay, after traveling a distance of 20 kilometers from home, a person suddenly remembers that he did not close a tap in his garden. He decides to turn around immediately and return home to close the tap. The cost of the water at the rate at which water is flowing out of the tap is R1.60 per hour. The cost of petrol is 1.2 plus X over 4,000 rands per kilometer, where X is the average speed in kilometer per hour. Calculate the average speed at which the person must travel home to keep his cost as low as possible. This question is 7 marks. Okay, so let's solve question 11. Okay, question 11. Okay, first of all, I want you to have this in mind. You can see that X is the average speed in a kilometer per hour. Okay, so let's write this down. The average speed is X. Okay, I want you to have this in mind. X is the average speed. Okay, I have this written down so that you can follow me as I try to answer this question. Okay, if you want to make things easy for you, this is what you have to do. You have to try to set the question first. You have to understand what is requested from you. You can see you are requested to calculate the average speed at which the person must travel home to keep what is cost as low as possible. So you are requested to find the X. Okay, average speed is X. You are requested to find the X that will give you a minimum cost. Okay, so try to set the question. The question is, let me set the question. The question is calculate the X that will give a minimum cost, right? I'm going to use C for cost. So with the question set, now you can try to find X, the average speed. Okay, what you are going to do is to take the derivative of the cost. Okay, C is your cost. You are going to take the derivative of your cost with respect to X. Okay, the derivative of the cost with respect to X. Okay, so this is how you can go about answering this question. You set first the question. Make sure you understand the question that you are required to answer. After setting the question, you're now going to take the derivative of that minimum or maximum with respect to what you are requested to find. Okay, you are requested to find the average speed that will give you a minimum cost. So you are going to take the derivative of the cost with respect to what you are requested to find. This is how you can go about answering this question. So we need to know our cost. Okay, what is the cost? I'm going to use C for cost. What is the cost? You have, when you start from here, you have water. So water will cost the person because the person is away from home. He needs to go back home, close the tap. So before he can reach home, so it will cost him this amount per hour. Okay, if he spend 2 hours to get home, you have this amount times 2 hours. This price is for 1 hour. This is what it cost him per hour, 1 hour. And you also have this cost, the cost of petrol, the petrol being used in the car. Okay, this is the price of the petrol for 1 kilometer. So you have this 1.6. This is for 1 hour, but how long will it take him to get home? Okay, you are going to multiply this by time. So we are going to multiply by time. And you also have this cost of the petrol. So we have plus this for 1 kilometer. But you can see the person will have to travel 20 kilometers back home. So we are going to multiply this by 20. Okay, now we have time here. We don't know what the time is. You know time is equal to distance over speed. Okay, we need to get our time. time is equal to distance over speed. This is equal to, the distance is 20 kilometer, right? And the speed, it's x, okay, where x is the average speed. So we have 20 over x. So the cost is equal to this. After substituting time with 20 over x, we carry on. The cost is equal to, you multiply this 1.6 times 20 over x, you're going to have 32 over x. Okay, 32 over x plus, right, this times 20, 1.2 times 20, this is 24, okay, plus 24, and you have this times 20, right, so you have plus, so you have 20 over 4,000, which is 1 over 200, right, 20 over 4,000, this is 1 over 200 times x, okay, 1 over 200 times x. Now, we can take the derivative of the cost with respect to x. You don't want to have x at the bottom. Before you can take the derivative, you want to have x at the top. So the cost is equal to, you have 32 times x, x to the power of negative 1. So this is what you get. And you still have plus 24 and then plus this. Okay, after getting this, now you can take the derivative. Okay, let me carry over here. So the derivative is equal to, you take the derivative of this, you are going to get negative 32x, x to the power of negative 2. Okay, negative 32x to the power of negative 2. Okay, so I hope you know how to get the derivative. Okay, in this video, I'm not going to spend time explaining how to find the derivative. Please check my other videos in which I explain how to find the derivative. Okay, let's carry on. The derivative of 24 is 0. This is a constant. Okay, so this is 0 plus the derivative of this. You are going to have 1 over 200. Okay, plus 1 over 200. Okay, after you have your derivative to solve for x, you are going to take your derivative, you equate it to 0, and so you can solve for x. This is the derivative, okay? So you equate it to 0, and so you can solve for x. So you are going to have this 32x to the power of negative 2, when you take it to the right, is equal to 1 over 200. Now to solve for x, you have this x to the power of a negative exponent. What you have to do is to take this x with the negative exponent, you bring it to the bottom so that you can solve for x. So you are going to have 32 over, this is equal to 1 over 200. And you carry on, what you have to do is cross multiplication. Okay, you cross multiply so that you can solve for x. Okay, you have x squared times 1. This is x squared. This is equal to 32 times 200. This is 6,400. Okay, 32 times 200, it's 6,400. Now, what you have to do is to take the square root on both sides of the equal sign so that you can solve for the x. So you have the square root of this, it's x. This is equal to positive or minus square root of 6,400. Okay, 6,400. Okay, and so this is equal to, x is equal to, right, x is equal to, the square root of this is 80. Okay, we only have a positive number, not negative, because we are calculating the average speed. Okay, we are not expecting to get a negative average speed. So you have x is equal to 80 kilometer per hour. Okay, so this is question 11 from November 2021. Okay, we are done with this question. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.